As African culture continues to enjoy the global spotlight, more of the continent's exports in the diaspora are looking back to their roots for connection and collaboration. Prominent among them is Rotimi Akinosho, known professionally as Rotimi.
You and me, but never say never.
The Nigerian-American actor, singer, and model is popular for his role as Darius Morrison on the Star series Boss, and currently stars as Andre Coleman on Power.
Wait, what do you mean find Tariq?
He's missing, Dre. They asked Tasha for money. So you tell me, who is Slim? I told you to have a close eye on the kid.
It's put me on a platform that now people could do the research to see who Rotimi really is completely, you know, whether it's the butterscotch, whether it's the music, whatever, it's all that. I think people are growing to see what I actually do. And, you know, it's helping me take care of my family. And you know, being a part of a legendary show, you know, like it's a once in a generation type of show, I think, you know, it's a blessing. So I met 50 on set. Like I met him when I did the scene. You know, I auditioned like everybody else. And then musically, I didn't tell him I did music until maybe 6 months into filming. It was never like, oh, 50 put me on the show. I didn't know 50. I had to just work my way up, you know.
She got that plenty bands with a bullet stance, give you more than a dance, hey, you listen to trance, you know.
His hit single Love Rhythm has burned up charts across the world as his profile continues to rise.
I had to wait for the right time to release it, you know. Then also when, you know, the preconception of, oh, he's an actor trying to sing until they hear the music and until they know my actual story. You know, so when people hear the music now, it's like, wow, okay, we get it. And so now people are understanding that music was first, way before acting, yeah.
I don't say too much. I'm just here to turn.
Born in New Jersey to an Igbo mother and a Yoruba father, Rotimi is back in Nigeria, where he's connecting with his fan base and even considering recording an album in Abuja.
When I come, I spend maybe like 2 weeks. You know, I want to actually record my album out here too, and make it a moment where we document everything and we just see the making of the project. I'm always a big Wiz fan. I like what Burna's doing. I like Tenny, she's dope. I like Scales. My dad's one of the biggest fella fans, you know, so and he was one of the original area boys. He brags about that. So so you know, I grew up listening to a lot of that kind of vibe, and even P Squared and Two Face, you know, so I grew up listening to a lot of that.
I make you go, oh.
Yeah, Banky's the one that kind of basically introduced me to Afrobeat and Afro, you know, the sound musically, because he was like, yo, you're dope, but why don't you come on tour with us? And, you know, and he was the one that kind of just broke me into that world, you know, and took me on tour for the first time. People don't know, like I was one of the original EME boys when they came to 2011, when they came with Banky and Scales and Wiz, and we went on tour together. And it's so crazy because he said that he was going to do what he's doing. I said I was going to do what I was doing. So just the story of that. People are understanding that this is where the source of everything started. You know, the source of music started here. The source of dancing started here. Everything started here. So I think people are now finding out, you know, who they are. Even like doing the ancestry.coms and all these things that people are doing. They want to feel like they belong somewhere, you know, and they admire when you say, I'm African, I'm Nigerian, I'm Ghanaian, whatever you would say, they admire that. So people want to feel that now, so it's good.
You make me go, oh.
I think I can be the bridge, you know, to what's going on. I think like a perfect bridge to say, okay, you know, African-American can make music that is opening up Afrobeats to this part of the world, you know, and doing it his own way. You know, I think Wiz has his style, Burna has his style, DeVito has his style, I have my style, and I think it's just changing the sound as though so it's not like it's one thing. It's different genres, different feels of it, you know, and so I think it's just being the bridge, and I feel like I'll go as far as I want it to go. You know, the goal is to be a legend.
Baby, I don't say too much.
The mindset of an immigrant background is you got to go get it. No excuses. It's survival. So I grew up with the mindset of if you're gonna do it, you got to be the best at it. And that was my parents like, don't just do it to do it. Don't be in the middle of this. Make sure they remember your name. And then also just being African, Nigerian, West African is like you believe it's your royalty. So because it's because you have that mindset, you go into it like, okay, I belong here. This is who I am. And my mom and my dad made sure, like, in anything I did, whether it was basketball, soccer, piano, guitar, whatever it is, try to do it to the best of your ability. I didn't know what big was coming because I usually write down like what I want. So I said I want to be a part of one of the biggest films of the year, and I wrote that. And maybe 2 months later, that's when I got the call for coming to America. But being in something like that, being on set with Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall, like you grow up watching that, and it's a classic, and we're in a space where now it's cool to be African, So that's the movie's gonna do incredible. But I didn't know what it was, but I knew something big was gonna come. The journey has been, you have to be persistent. You have to be very, very strong in this business, and you have to be consistent. And so what I've done is I was always working. Thank God I was always able to work, but I was able to implement my music as well. When I knew that I'm financially set here, I can do what my passion is truly, and so people just gravitating to it.